Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get right into it. Let's talk day one Sweet 16 action we have on the Thursday card. I'm going to break down all four games as well as we're going to just segue our way into the weekend. Action-packed weekend, 2 days in the Sweet 16. We have 2 days in the Elite Eight, Saturday and Sunday. And then from there, guys, the Final Four, the table will be set as we get deeper into the March Madness bracket, okay? And let's get it going. Let's talk some bets. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, awesome. I love some new faces. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Join us here, completely free to do so. All I ask is that you hit that like button down below, and let's get the action going, okay? To do this, we are going to look into OUTLIER. We will pull up the entire slate. If you guys aren't using OUTLIER, there is a link down below for a 7-day free trial. In my opinion, it gives you one of the better edges there is when you find the best number available, as well as compiling all the data and information you need to make the best bet possible. Okay. Another update on the business front. We will have the website up and running. The opening day of baseball outside of the Tokyo games basically will be Thursday. So we're going to be ready for that. Stay tuned for my video tomorrow where I go over the best bets for opening day. We will start those units out a little bit slower till we get a grasp and feel of where everything stands, kind of feel out the teams once they start regular season action. And it is kind of a slow go of it. A lot of good teams that will be there in the postseason kind of take their time. Pitchers get eased into it a little bit. So we'll see kind of how that all unravels, but I will have my best bets for the MLB card out tomorrow, okay? So let's get into these picks. First game on the card is a big one, kind of my most favorite one that we're going to talk about on the entire Sweet 16 slate, and that's going to be the BYU Cougars going about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, this is intriguing for me in this matchup because if you guys tuned into the live stream where I previewed the Sweet 16, BYU by the numbers is a top 5 team on a lot of metrics, okay? They don't carry the same ranking that they do, throughout the course of the season. I know how they had a lot of losses early on. A lot of teams kind of, unraveled them. But right now, guys, as it stands, one of the hottest offenses in the country. They cannot be denied. But I do think that this is going to be an official play. We're going to be talking about kind of where we're at with all this. Guys, it's something where I see a lot of points. And I know it sounds probably chalky to you guys, but I think this is something where we might see this number shift a little bit, okay? And the reason why I want to bring it up is because as we look into this game, you can see kind of the total opening at 173.5. It's been bet up to 176.5. Okay, and that's going to keep climbing in my opinion. So you're really going to have to shop around for the best number, but I think this is one where you have to get on it early. I'm not going to go chasing it, but I do think this game gets into the 180s. I don't know how much closing line value we're going to have here at 176.5. I'd love to find a 175.5, which you still can find. But right now, guys, it's something where it's shifting a little bit towards the over more and more and more each and every day. So if you do like the over like I do, you're going to probably want to bet it sooner than later, as I do expect this number to climb, okay? Talk about BYU, talk about Alabama, the style, the tempo, it's all there to set up for the over. I don't think Alabama's going to be playing a lick of defense. I think they're going to have the will to win this game, but BYU offensively is going to do what they have to do to keep up, and I think this one goes over 180. I think that until you get the number set at 178, 179, you really don't have an unbettable number, okay? I think this is something where you can't get it high enough, in my personal opinion. So we look at kind of Alabama and some of their key matchups, and I'm going to pull up kind of the numbers right here. You saw Auburn. I know it was OT, but it was 93-91. You talk about kind of where we're at within the Florida game, 104-82 in a loss, covering that number. A lot of the big offenses that they have played. You talk about the 179 in a prior matchup against Auburn back in February. You talk about kind of Texas, 103-80. Arkansas, I mean, there are a lot of games that went way over the total when they do face an up-tempo team, okay? Even teams that can't score with the likes of Alabama, they still find a way to go over. The difference is here, BYU can score, okay? BYU can score. They can shoot the 3 ball exceedingly well, and I think this is something where I kind of even like the Crimson Tide here to win this game outright. I do like a lot of chalk on the Thursday slate as well as the weekend. A little bit more so on Thursday than Friday, just full disclosure. But I think this is something where BYU, I still think they score 80 points. I don't know if they're going to go over their team total, but I still think they score over 80 points. And if Alabama does win with BYU and they cover with BYU hitting 80, it's going to be very hard not to cash this to the over. Personally, I think this one goes way over the total, and we get both teams into the high 80s, if not one team into the 90s. So I'm going to lay it. I'm going to take a chance on it. I know that a lot of bettors out there will fade the over. They'll go under just because out of principle, it's just too high of a number. But I think in this spot, the matchup dictates kind of the tempo, the pace, the offense, and I think that this one goes over the total. So I did get this one out on the live stream. I will be going over 176.5. If you can find a 175.5, that's what I want to bet. So I will take 175.5 as the best bet, but don't go chasing it. If this gets anywhere close to 180, if it settles at 178, 179, that's going to be pretty much unbettable for me. No value there within that closing number. 173.5 was the open, and that got gobbled up real quick. But over 176.5, 175.5, I will give that out. That will be an official play. Okay. Next game, Maryland and Florida. I did find something kind of interesting. It was an Instagram reel, actually, where they were talking about the high school team that Cooper Flagg went to, and coincidentally, the starting five on that team did feature Maryland. One of their players, their best player, the guy that hit the game-winning shot. And this is something where, as we look into this, guys, that starting five, all possible first-round draft picks in the NBA. So I just want to give them a shout-out. But kind of as you look into kind of what happened, this is something where it was a stunner. You took 3 steps. I know that. But hey, it is what it is. You talk about kind of what Maryland was able to do. And really Derek Queen hitting that shot. You can't make this stuff up. That's why we love the big dance. That's why March Madness is full of madness and always continues to deliver. That was a great matchup, albeit they should have kind of got edged out down the stretch. But hey, they had every chance to kind of close out Maryland and Colorado State. Hats off to them. Great run, but they just did not get the job done against the Terrapins, okay? But in this spot, I think this is horrible that we had a layoff, okay, for the Florida Gators, because that gives them time to use that scare that they had against UConn. UConn played the best game they possibly can play, and it just looked like Florida was off. They looked like they were being toyed with. It looked like it was just kind of a game that they weren't ready to play. Shout out to, Hurley and company. Danny Hurley really is one of the best ATS cover guys in terms of coaching that we've seen. Probably that may never be beaten again. I think it was 15 or 14 games in a row ATS in the postseason. So UConn getting it done in March for sure. But it's something whereas the Terrapins take on the Florida Gators. I know it's chalky, but I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Florida. If you can find a 6, grab it. That's going to be my best bet in terms of this game. I have Florida going to the national championship. I have Florida winning it all. And I do like the Gators to kind of find their footing a little bit, right? I think they're going to use this in a way that another team that we're going to be talking about is going to do. That they had their scare. They got it out of the way. They survived. They advanced. Get a couple days off, recharge, regroup, and they're going to come ready to play against the Terrapins, where I think this one could potentially get ugly. It's a bad matchup for Maryland. I always talk about how Florida can evolve and kind of, shift kind of conform to the defense, to the offense that they're playing against, and really just dominate their opponent. Okay, the number one team in the field of 64, in my opinion. And that's where we're going to lay with the Gators. I just really don't see them losing in this contest. So give me the Gators -6 as an official best bet, okay? We're going to go right back to it. Duke and Arizona. This is another game where we look at it, okay? Now, Duke with the points, laying the points, -9 is what you can find. You potentially could find an 8.5 if you do wait, you do shop around. But it's not even Cooper Flagg. I mean, even when he's off the court, Duke is just that team, okay? And there's no other easy way to spell it. But Duke laying 8.5 is going to be one of my best bets. They've covered 10 of their last 12. They've dealt with some injuries. I just think that's something where they're going to be able to score 90-plus points in this game. I don't know if Arizona is going to have that Cinderella kind of run where they do have the upset factor that we saw in their last matchup in the postseason against Duke. This happened a while back, but it's completely different teams. Where Arizona, I believe, blew out Duke in that game. But for my money, guys, it's going to be best spent on the Blue Devils here. I'm going to lay it. We're going to go chalk again. Give me Duke minus 8.5 as an official best bet, okay? I personally think that Arizona is a huge mismatch in this game. I just don't see it. Arizona, for my money, is kind of lucky to be in the tournament personally, and I just think Duke runs rampant in this spot. Even in the last game where Duke looked like it was being tested, as we saw them down the stretch, they just really pulled away and dominated in all areas, in all facets of the game. I just think the Blue Devils will kind of coast their way into the Final Four personally, and that's where we have the Blue Devils here. We're going to lay 8.5 as an official best bet, okay? And the last game on the Thursday card we're going to talk about is Texas Tech and Arkansas. It's been a great story. Coach Cal and the Razorbacks, after losing a few games to start off the season, nice little rebound as they now are the lowest ranked team, the lowest seed still alive in the tournament. I can't find a way not to take the Red Raiders in the spot. 5.5, it's not going to be enough points in my personal opinion. It's going to be a tough matchup for Arkansas. If they're able to win this game outright, I'll tip my cap. I just don't see it. I think that what we see with Darian Williams as well as JT Toppin, they're going to have their way offensively. It's a bad matchup. Okay, Arkansas is very much lower in terms of rankings, metrics, and a lot of stat categories than what Texas Tech they do exceedingly well in. And I just don't know if Arkansas's defense is going to be able to play. The big storyline here right now for what we see with Arkansas and kind of moving forward as we get through this, Texas Tech shooting 37% from three since basically the middle of February. Okay, we can talk about kind of what Arkansas has getting back Boogie Fland. We talk about kind of what they are doing, but Texas Tech, top 40 defense. The offense is red hot. I don't think Arkansas can shoot the three ball well enough to hang with Texas Tech. That's kind of where I'm at, right? We saw Texas Tech play a battle against Houston at home, albeit, but it was one where it's a different opponent. Losing that game, this is something completely different. And what they're able to do against Houston gives me a lot of credence to why I like the Red Raiders in this spot. I just don't think Arkansas has enough firepower. They might be able to do it down low. They might be able to play streaky. But I think Texas Tech, as long as they make their threes and they continue to shoot, 37% since mid-February, I think that the Texas Tech Red Raiders roll in this spot, and they're going to be a little bit outmatched. Arkansas is going to be a little bit outmatched in this spot that I am going to be looking forward to on Thursday night. This is a 10:09 tip-off whenever we get it. But the last thing I'll say about this game that is noteworthy, you kind of look at kind of what Arkansas does well. They played St. John's, okay? They played St. John's, and they played Kansas, and, those teams in those spots did not shoot the three ball well. If Texas Tech shoots a three, this could be double digits and beyond. St. John's, by the numbers, if you would have told me that box score, and you would have said, hey, this is the Arkansas-St. John's box score, who won this game, I would have looked at that and said, wow, there's no reason why St. John's lost. But then you look at it, guys, and they shot like 4 or 45 from three or something like that, in the tournament. That tells the whole story. Texas Tech's not going to shoot that pour from the three-point arc. So give me the Red Raiders. We'll lay 5.5. I don't think it's enough points. However, if they don't shoot it, Arkansas is going to be a live dog. So that's why I'm not sure if this is going to make my card. But if I had to bet these games on Thursday night, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to lay it with Texas Tech, Duke, and Florida. So 3 chalks as well as the over in BYU, Alabama. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Those are kind of my plays. We'll see what happens. Those are kind of my best bets for the 4 games on Thursday. We'll see which ones make my card. Full disclosure, guys, we do have a website up and coming. So it's kind of how I'm going to be doing it, right? I'm going to be talking about each and every game in all sports, tell you guys how I feel about them, and then obviously there will be a direct form of communication where I give you guys my best bets in a more premium way, not just within the Discord. So we kind of have that available right now, but it's going to be something moving forward. That's how we're going to do things. So if you guys have any thoughts or feedback on that regard, please leave them down below in the comments. Good luck with your picks. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy it. And we'll see you guys all in the next video where we break down the Friday action for day 2 in the Sweet 16.